John Sinclair's Reggae Vibes, live via the YouTube studios, live and direct. Welcome to another edition. I'm Selector Hype, live and direct, your presenter, and live inside the place right now. We have one of the legendary sound systems from out of the UK, year-to-year sound. It's an honor, it's a privilege to have no other than King Tubby's live and direct inside the studio. How's things?
Well, all right so far.
Before we start the interview, if you'd just like to just introduce yourselves.
Natty Harvey.
Cecil
JD,
Tubbys.
Mike MC.
And
Cecil Tubbys.
the General.
The General.
Yeah, man, trust me. First of all, again, it is an honor to have you live and direct up here. Let's just start from the very beginning. King Tubbys. When was that particular moment when you said to yourself, you know what? Sound system I'm doing right now, you know?
Well, first of all, let's introduce myself. My name is actually Cecil Rennie, a.k.a. King Tubbys. I came to this country in 1965 at the age of 14. Just going on 14, not fully 14. And in my whole life in Jamaica as a youngster, I used to listen to the radio. I've always put myself around music.
Okay.
My parents sent for me in 65, as I said. And ever since I came here, I'm still interested in music. I always hung around the sound system until I start following a sound system. Although I was still going to school. I have to thief out of the old lady house and go dance and everything. So music was my first choice. And born in the parish of St Thomas, Jamaica, and so forth.
And coming over to England at such a young age, what was the music like you was hearing at that time? Because leaving Jamaica, obviously heavily reggae influence, then coming on landing on UK soil, what music was you hearing?
Well, if I tell you the music I used to hear quite, especially on the radio, was Millie Small, My Boy Lollipop.
Okay.
That's this only reggae I used to hear.
And coming again from Jamaica, a lot of the sound systems them did was when they came from Jamaica and landed in the UK, they picked up the sound system's name of their favorite sound system. Hence the reason you called yourself King Tubbys. Out of all of the sound systems then that you could have picked, why did you pick
Yeah, well,
King
when I
Tubby's?
came here, they had Duke Reid, they have Sir Cox and sounds like that I was really interested in.
Yeah.
And my sister came up from Jamaica and I said, which is the best sound in Jamaica? She gave me two names. Tippertone and King Tubbys.
Yeah. And you
So
decided to go
being as I was going to school as a youngster, I was fat and, you know, I said, I'm going to call myself King Tubbys. I said, which one play the best tune? She said, Tubbys. So I said, okay,
you went with King
that's the
Tubby's.
name. Yeah.
And describe your style. For anybody that's not familiar with the sound system culture, those who do will definitely know. But if somebody came up to you now and says, okay, then King Tubby's, how would you describe your sound system and your style of playing sound system?
Well, my style of playing sound system, I like to have good music. And when I play my music, I like to see people dancing. Entertainment. I never build a sound for clash. I build it for entertainment. Because I always like to see a big crowd and everybody laughing, dancing, who want to dance and so forth.
Because we're going to talk about the dubplate side of things a little later on. But you are a sound system that not many sound systems can do professionally, which is not only sound clash, but the weddings, birthday parties. I've seen many different events where you've played at. What makes you stand out from the rest and makes you so versatile?
Because I'm an entertainer. I'm a person, if you're standing in my crowd, without the sound system, I'll make you laugh. I'm a joker. So, therefore...
That's where everything comes from.
Yeah.
Right, sound system-wise, London City. Which part of London are you representing?
Well, really, the sound based in Brixton. Bill, I'm based in Brixton.
Okay.
Hometown, you know.
And what's the sound system culture vibes like in Brixton?
Well, from the 70s till now, it's still very good. I said give thanks, are still on the road from 1970 until now.
Yeah.
And so forth.
Okay. And being from London, I know that you've travelled various places up and down the country. How do you see the vibes different in the sound system culture in London compared to like if you would go to, say, up north or in the Midlands?
Well, when I start first, London was the major city for reggae. Then you have Birmingham, Wolverhampton,
Yeah.
Leeds, you have Nottingham and all these places.
Okay.
We used to have some very good sound like V-Rocket from Nottingham,
Yeah.
Quaker City, Duke, Neville and all these from Birmingham. So it was a good fun to actually leave London and play with those songs.
Yeah. And still great friends
And
with them,
still-
many with them
Yeah.
up to this very date. Yes. And in terms of let's go into sound clash. My favorite part of sound system culture is going to be the clash vibes. And speaking to a man, legend, let's have it because you have been there, you've done that, you've traveled the world. Can we go right back to the beginning of your very first sound clash? Can you remember when that took
My
place?
first sound class was about 1973. The sound that I was playing before I built my own was Duke Reid Sound. And we used to all have a little youth club on Railton Road called Shepherds.
Yeah.
And that's where we all start. And everyone's saying, boy, you're going like you're bad and you're heavy. Them decide to have a dance with me and read. I say, well then, being as I know read box, I say I can't just go and play him like that. So while my cousin them was setting up the sound, I say, you know what, don't tell nobody anything. And I trick off and go to Jamaica. We get some tune for really manage read because being as a man, I follow the sound, you know, say read box, very big. So I have to try and go on it. And as a young son in Brixton, when I have actually stand up against my father and I have to beat him, you know what I mean? So that was my first clash, 1973.
And when you're talking about sound system culture as well, this is something I want to touch on as well. Like he says, there's many sound systems up and down the country. Some have their sound systems. Nowadays, it just seems to be man walking with their laptop and a little microphone, and then just because they got the little 1 and 2 dub plates, they're calling themselves a sound system. You, as an original sound man, lifting speaker boxes and wires and amps and all those necessary things, do you think that you can not really call yourself a sound system if you don't have the necessary equipment?
Well, to be a sound system, you have to have equipment. With me, I can cover all grounds because I've got a sound and I've got equipment and I've got the laptop or whatsoever you want to call it. So I said I'm a all-rounder sound system.
What are the key things to having a good sound system? An overall look. I mean, there's so many things, but if you have to say your top 3 things to kind of like say, you know what, to really make it as a sound system right now in this current time, these are the main 3 things that you would need right now.
Well, to have a sound system in this time, you have to have a good equipment, good music, and also you have to have a good team behind you to help you to push it because sound system is not a one-man job. You one man can own the sound, but you still have to have a good team to help you move it right, left, and center.
Definitely. And one thing I can say, I have had the pleasure of clashing with King Tubbys twice before, 2004, Winner Takes All, and then again in 2014? Again at Winner Takes All again. What does it take right now to be out there as a big clashing sound system?
Well, as I said before, you have to have good music. And with some of the clashes, as you say, winners take all. Tubbys has always been a competitive in it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We win some, we lose some.
You have to have a little bit of imagination when you're cutting your tunes, them something different for the people them to really sit back and listen to. You understand?
Yeah.
You know, so that is more as a key.
And that was like literally going to go on to my next question in terms of dub plate cutting. How do you go about going to get the dub plates, them getting the right dub plates and making sure that you don't stand like next to somebody else and playing the same kind of songs? How does dub plate preparations go for King Tubbys on your side?
We have to have a discussion and find out what is the best tunes them was out there, and we select the rhythms them that is appropriate for you that will fit together, and you know it's basic imagination and putting it together. You know, you have to use some brain skills with it, you know?
Well, Don Sinclair Reggae Vibes right here at the YouTube studios. You would be able to see a half an hour mix of King Tubby's them beating out some crazy dub plates them. Let's go down that dub plate lane. Let's talk about that box because the box is deep. I ain't playing around, trust me. In terms of artist-wise, who's the artist them? You know, we have the sound systems like bass, you see them say, I'm born to kill a sound. Then you got various other sound systems say that's their particular artist. Do you have an artist that you kind of like say, yo, someone can't touch me for that artist, yeah, you know?
Can I butt in there? My name's JD, and I'm a singer and an artist myself, and I originated from Sweet Sensation, Matumbi, and various other bands, even a rock and roll band called Hawkwind. Surprise, surprise. Anyhow, I'm a guitarist and a keyboard player and a drummer, but I don't practice those methods so tough. I see that King Tubbys has all the artists, so I don't know where other sound systems are going. I know that Lucci and even Bounty Killer is King Tubby's artists. There is a lot of sound system who use cotton splice or either how can I pronounce it to you? They
Fake.
Fake. That's the word I'm looking for. They use fake artists to copy another artist. I've done that before too. I'm not going to tell you which artists I copied. Well, I might as well tell you Bob Marley. And my boss tell me not to do it. And that's called splicing, cotton splice. There's lots of other sound system who practice this. But Tubbys is still the winner. Tubbys is still the number one. And he has all the real, genuine artists, even down to Miss Marcia Griffiths.
When it comes to artists now, thank you. That was big. When it comes to artists now, and let's talk about Dubplate Fees, because Dubplate Fees is a crazy thing. Can you remember the very first dubplate that you cut, and how much was it back in them days there? Very first one, the one that really said King Tubby, the one that you really wanted to say, you know.
Well, when you use the word dubplate, you have to emphasize on what you're saying, because you have dubplate and you have specials.
Okay.
Dubplate, if I was to say dubplate, I'd talk about a tune called Evening News. Oh, by Lord Creator. That was the first dubplate I get for my sound system. I get it from Randy's studio in Jamaica.
Okay.
Right? But if we're going to talk about specials now, my first special is IRI. It's my first three specials.
Okay.
I play one of them there for you.
Excellent, yeah.
And so forth. Even if you notice, when I start playing, I play two Delroy Wilson.
Yeah.
I get those as dub plate as well.
Okay.
From King Tubby's. So.
And speaking about the legendary King Tubby's, when you finally get to meet him and says, King Tubby's, what was his reaction?
No, well, as I said before, over the years I've been saying it. I went to Jamaica in 1973, and Ira and Bonnie Lee introduced me to Tubbs, although I was going to go and introduce myself because my son named King Tubbys in the UK, and I want him to know who I am and so forth. So I went and introduced him. And to be really honest, that's why I record those Ira dub. Because King Tubby's words to me, if you're going to call your son King Tubby's in England, you have to have at least quarter dozen tune that is only you alone can play.
Okay.
I said, thank you very much. So I went back and go back over the studio about 2 days after, and I said, Tubbs, you know, so I'm going to buy some tune. So I said, who you like? Which artist you like? And I said, well then, Ira will do it for me, so I never even tell him the connection, you know, see it.
Okay.
So I say, all right, then get him and come. Call up Ryan. And that's how I voiced my first 3 special.
And what was the dubplate fee like then? Was it as intense? Do you think dubplate fees are expensive? Is it a thing where you can look at it and say, boy, I'm going to charge too much, you know? Or is it a case of, well, if you're in the game, you're going to have to just spend?
But you have to negotiate.
The prices are so high because you're not really getting the record sales them, so the artists them kind of feel like they have to extort the sound them as well. They don't really. Artists argument that they don't really rate the soundman them again. They prefer to rate the radio DJs and them sort of thing. So the thing kind of gone around, you know, because before the sound system was there to promote the music. That's what it was there originally for. You understand? So therefore, it's all gone up in the air with the prices and that, you know.
Yeah, I hear that. And as one of the main selectors them on Tubby's right now, especially with the younger artists them, the Alkalines, the Massacres, coming up with some crazy, ridiculous prices for dub fees. I'm hearing talks of $1,000 for one song, which you would play for probably 30 seconds.
I'll prefer to play the 45.
So
me,
do you think
me,
is it right for an artist to charge those kind of
foolishness? Because with them tunes, they even got no longevity. Like the foundation artists today, you can still be playing
I hear that.
It's a waste of money. You
Now,
understand?
you recently came back from New York. Tell us a little bit about your experience going over there.
It was a big experience, too, you know, big stage. Amazura, you know, it was an
legendary
eye
club.
opener. Yeah, it was an eye opener still.
Now-
In terms of that was like a microwave clash, they call them. Them ones there.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
like
yeah.
so it's a kind of format. I think it's kind of mashing up. Not even mashing up. It's a different sort of thing because you're not really appreciating the music when you're playing it over there. You understand? I don't even know what you kind of call that.
Yeah.
If it's a showcase or what. And you understand? You don't really get a chance to exercise your box.
What did you think that you kind of learned by going over there? Because a lot of UK sounds have been going to America. It doesn't seem to be working. Love Injection, Platinum Cartel, various whose events didn't actually take place, so we didn't really know the outcome. But there always seems to be that stigma where UK them can't boss in the US. How do you feel about that? And was there anything that you learned when you kind of thought to yourself, I can kind of like know how to kind of work it next time around?
Well, to be really honest, I don't learn nothing from the New York clash thing, you know. Because I don't see them do anything else that we can do in England, or we are not doing. I don't learn nothing. I'm the owner of the Fizzy Sound.
So there was nothing around there, not even crowd-wise or anything, a different...
No, well, I hear a lot of people talk about it, but I didn't see any crowd. As such, must say, when we went there, the night was nothing to do with the promoting or anything like that. But I think rain fall all night.
Okay.
And for the people that actually turn out, that was very good for the amount of rain that was there. But for what I hear the sound them play, I never really learned nothing. And I was just backstage watching.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
Music-wise, I would add that when it comes to the music, Jamaica was the home of reggae music, and in certain aspect, England was more advanced than Jamaica when it comes to certain music. So with certain tunes that we know over here, America was way behind, so we would know a rhythm and it would kind of go over their head still.
Yeah.
You understand? So we say, big tune, we know it from, we grow on the thing like that, and we say, yeah, we can relate to it. And they will say, foolishness, so because they're still catching up to a certain extent. You understand?
Definitely. And is that kind of clash something that you'd go back into again? Or is that something that you've kind of been there, done that, want to try and do something else?
Father said he refused no challenge. When you make him tell
as my word is, I say no challenge and I refuse none. If they want me to play, I will play. If they don't want me to play, I will still stand and listen. I say no challenge and I refuse none. But I don't take my eye off my opponents, you know. I watch every man. If you go and creep up behind me, I make sure I have a eye watch you.
Is there a sound out there that you would want to clash right now that you could say right here, Don Sinclair, Reggae Vibes on YouTube, say, yo, that's on there?
Right here, Don Sinclair, Reggae Vibes, King Tubbys himself telling you, Jaro, Kilimanjaro.
Kilimanjaro is a sound you would
I've
like
never
to play.
played with Mr. Harper.
You've never played with Joe?
I played one time, long time ago. And I wouldn't call it, say, I play with him, because when the guys that were playing, I was in Jamaica.
Okay.
So, but I'd like to play with Jaro.
The first sound system, you've heard it right here, that is actually admitting to a sound that they want to play. You know how many times I've interviewed sound man and be like, well, we'll kill anybody, you know, anytime, anywhere, any place. And you know, that never really happens because he's just saying it for the sake of saying it. So to really like say, Kilimanjaro, promoters out there, get your money out, man, because that would be history in the making. And it would only have to be Tubby's and Jaro. We don't even need no early warm.
No. Me not in a early warm thing. Because that is one I think when we fight against in the reggae field and clashing on that. Every man come and them have 2 hours worth of dub and tell us that them a champion sound on them laptop and them Facebook. And them can't play for 2 hours. Them don't play no tune at all when nobody else can play. And them a champion. No, man.
Do you think that's one of the main issues of why a lot of people are saying that UK sounds them are not really represented and the UK scene is kind of like gone down? Do you think that's one of the key reasons?
I wouldn't say that, One of the things I think why the UK thing gone on, the sound them in the UK now is mostly the youngsters them.
Yeah.
And I think them love a lot of man company. And them run home on them by the word will come out of them mouth. And that is when I downfall of the clash scene.
Okay.
And the next thing is, you do not hear the music that they're playing. 2 minutes, take it off. I've never seen anyone coming out of a dance and dancing and say, I hear this tune and I hear that tune and I like it. Because them don't hear it.
Yeah.
And that is the downfall of the reggae clash vibes in the UK today.
What in London, I don't know about. I know within the sound, if it was a foreign sound come over, they would prefer to boost the foreign sound to come and beat the England sound or whatever. So there's not that kind of unity thing, like you understand in the sound business. You understand? So that's kind of mashing it up as well,
And is there any sounds inside the UK that you can kind of like sit back and be like, okay then, all right, let me change the question, and that's a question for each of you. Take away King Tubby's. There's no Tubby's. If you had to select another sound system, you got the phone call saying, yo, fam, why you can't play my song, Which is the sound owner you would like to hear? Whose voice would you like to hear on the other end of the phone?
It's a hard one, isn't it? It's a hard one. I can't think of no sound, Tubby's,
Tubby's alone.
Yeah, that's right.
Father Cecil.
Well, as a boss, I'm going to tell you the truth, and it's not because we've been friends for over the years. It's Coxon and Fat Man.
Okay. For the reason of musical status of what they have.
Well, me, Coxon and Fat Man, the whole of we come from of all. You have to say, Lydie started sound before all of us. But I know for a fact that me and Fat Man start the same time.
Yeah.
Fat Man used to follow our sound, surf and so. And I used to follow Duke Reid. Lydie Coxon used to play Duke Reid Sound.
Yep.
So I would say me and Fat Man is the same here, the two of us start our sound. When you're playing someone else's sound, it's not the same as playing your own.
Okay, true. And
I'd say Lydie Coxon, Sir Lydie, because I've got good experience with Sir Lydie Coxon. And he does play for the poor people too. And he's a good entertainer.
Yep.
He can play all night long. Of the sound system, I'm not going to back down Fat Man from this, but Fat Man is only a little bit here and a little bit there.
Okay. And future plans. What are the future plans for Tubby's? I mean, like I've said, you have traveled the world. There's some of the places where you've been where you didn't think reggae was going to be like so much out there. Is there any particular country?
You know something? Everyone said don't say it. But I've been to Germany and playing a place called the Bunker. And when I go to them places, I experience a lot.
You've been places where they didn't even know about reggae music, and you introduced reggae music to them. Is that right?
I went into the Bunker one night with my friend, and I said, wait a little bit, I don't like how this place here look, because the door, them, I see some rubber thing on the door. I said, I don't like how that place here look, but what go on, I said. And I said, this look like the place where Hitler used to kill the Jews, them, And I said, I said, shh. So I keep quiet. I said, wait. Never like it at all. From I going there, I find it was spooky.
Yeah.
And I walk both from the end of the road downstairs. I see where it looked like, so some black curtain. I said, wait, how are this, man? Yeah. And I wasn't comfortable. I tell you the truth. That is the only place I've been where I never know reggae music actually reach.
Okay.
But away from that, I enjoy myself, although I was a bit scared.
And what's your the future plans then? 2017 literally is just arrived. So what's your plans for this year and further on as the years progress?
Well, with me, as I said quite clearly, age is sort of a fighting because I might look young, but me's a old man. With the youngsters them coming up now, I try to encourage them, you know what I mean? I have my daughter, them, and they're interested, so I'm pushing them forward. I'm still behind, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Working it with them, but they're the forefront of this thing right now.
So have we got any clashes lined up? Anything that we can look forward to?
I hear some people talking about one, but talk is
Actually,
cheap.
I saw one. I saw excuse me. I saw a photograph going around with yourselves and Platinum Cartel. Is that anything that you can shed to light? Because the photo looked authentic, and the statement below also looks like it was definitely going to happen. So is that something that you can shed light on?
Well, as I said to you, someone talking about something, but
Okay.
you can talk, but it's to put it on. I will play. As I said, I say no challenge and I don't refuse none.
Okay.
But it's up to it if it can go ahead.
So I guess a picture tells 1,000 words then, isn't it? Okay, so sound system, culture. It's in your blood. You've been doing it from like it says, from idea knee right up until this present day. You've never stopped. It can be a very pressure thing to do, especially when you're lining up for sound clashes and all them kind of things. They're buying the songs, moving equipment, sorting out equipment. Is there anything that you do away from sound system to try and get your mind, you know what I mean, set differently and then go back into the thing?
Well,
There's
when
a
I was
question for all
young, I
three of
used
you
to
as
like
well.
cricket. I'm a sportsman. I like cricket and them little thing, you know. And being a Jamaican, we never know much about football when I was young. But until I come to England. So therefore, cricket is my first choice of sport. But that's where I'm from.
I'm a football man still, you know.
Team?
Liverpool. You understand?
Even though I'm wearing red.
You know, you never walk alone, you know.
And yourself,
That's it, though.
any pastimes?
You wouldn't believe this, but I love rugby.
Okay. Rugby's a thing. In terms of finding contact, how do we get in touch with Tubbies? Where's the
Well,
social
with
media and
business
links to them?
card, Facebook, website, those sort of things. Just,
Straight Google.
yeah, straight
Tubbies is a
Google.
big sound, man.
You
Just
get
type in
Google,
King
yeah,
Tubbies.
yeah.
You get everything. Is there any advice that you want to give to all of the listeners, them Don Sinclair Reggae Vibes, right here at YouTube? What advice would you give to the up-and-coming sounds before they're out there to, reach the levels where Tubbies has?
Well, first of all, enough respect to Dan Sinclair. You are doing a wonderful job for the reggae industry and for the sound system. With the youngsters them coming up, first thing, good equipment, good music, and a good teamwork, and he'll go far.
And there you go, Massive. What more can we say? Legendary. It's absolutely nuts right now. Sitting down with King Tubby's live and direct, Don Sinclair, Reggae Vibes. We're at the YouTube studios. Make sure you subscribe. Comments below. Keep it like that. We're out. One. Peace.